Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining, and it's great excitement for me to share the success of our first in-person GMTIS event. Thanks for everyone who joined yesterday in our GMTIS event at Brampton. It was really great to have some of you there, see in person, talk to you and interact along with our guest speakers. Thanks to all our sponsors for sponsoring the event, and also really thanks to everyone who joined there. The, the upcoming classes that we have for our advanced course would be starting on 9th of July, followed by our trading course on 14th of August. The registrations for both the batches are open. If you have some of your relatives, connections or friends interested in our trading course, please suggest them to register on the website. If we get good numbers before August, we could start a new batch earlier as well. Any questions on any of the upcoming courses?
Kamal, when is the following option course after the 9th of July?
So it would be after about 2 months.
Okay.
So, at the start of September, tentatively.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, we would now move on to our analysis part of the session. I see some of you have already requested your stocks and ETFs. So let's go to the Webull desktop application, which I use for doing the analysis. I'll just stop sharing here and share my screen so you all can see. Okay, so let's start with the NDX analysis, which I believe most of you would be keen to know what to expect in the coming week and probably also in the coming month. So this time we would do the analysis from the month chart, unlike our previous sessions where we used to do analysis on a day chart and weekly chart. We'll start with the monthly chart analysis, then come to weekly and daily chart. So looking at the NDX, in the last week, as we had anticipated a bearish trend, on a monthly chart, we still see the downward trend, and NDX currently is at 11,832. Lower Bollinger Band is at 11,357. So about 500 points, still it could drop. The EMA 50 is at 11,180. So those who are looking for taking positional trade or for long-term investments, I would suggest to still hold, set up your account. You can move your funds and just wait for few weeks or over a month for NASDAQ to drop near the lower Bollinger Band or the EMA 50 level. If we look on the weekly chart, with this large red candle in the last session, you can easily anticipate the coming week it could drop further from the current level. On the weekly chart, EMA 200 is at 11,393, which could be the level where you could expect either in the coming week or next week NDX to take support. So that's almost about 440 points, close to 440 points. You can expect it to drop in about a week or two. It had previously almost touched the EMA 200, but it didn't reach the EMA 200 level, which we can anticipate in the coming weeks. If you look on the daily chart, almost red Maruvasu, although there was a small wick, but that's negligible looking at the body of this last day's candle. So the lower Bollinger Band 11,598 is almost likely or most probably. If the session on Monday, if it gives a gap down opening and starts moving up, that could be good for those who are taking long trades for very short term, for few hours to couple of days. If it opens near the closing price and starts going down, I would suggest to wait until Tuesday, Wednesday to open a long position. By that time, you might expect NDX to reach near the lower Bollinger Band, or even if the bearish sentiment is strong, it could drop under the lower Bollinger Band. So those who would be taking the long position, that has to be for very short term. If you look at IXIC, the analysis would remain the same on daily chart. On weekly chart, if you look closely, it almost touched the 200 EMA, so which is a good sign. So you would notice the IXIC trend has much larger following compared to NDX. In the month of May, it had almost taken support at EMA 200 before it moved up. This time, since this last week red candle is almost Marubazu and has closed at EMA 200, it could take support, but that support won't be strong and looks likely that it could break further down. If we add the indicators, Williams-R, RSI, CCI or MACD, you will notice the indicators are downward. Although it's in oversold region, but the indicators are completely downward. So you could expect it to drop. If it reverses, it would be because it is already sitting at the EMA 200 on weekly chart. However, if you look at monthly chart, on the monthly chart, it has reached the lower Bollinger Band as well as EMA 50. But the EMA 100 and EMA 200 are still further down, which it could take longer time. Looking at the levels, and if you are drawing your own support and resistances, you will notice this level of 10,750, almost 10,850 is a strong support on the monthly chart on IXIC. Taking this further to QQQ, since QQQ follows NDX, it has not touched the lower Bollinger Band, and you can expect QQQ to drop further down on the monthly chart as well as on weekly and on daily charts. And those who trade on TQQ or SQQ, if you look at TQQ, the pattern is almost the same as NDX or QQQ. On the monthly chart, TQQ is almost about to touch the 100 EMA 25.69, where it could take support, and that would be almost close to the lower Bollinger Band on daily chart. but that support would not be a strong support, knowing that the lower Bollinger Band is under EMA 100 and EMA 200 is further down. So it could easily drop to EMA 200, which would be a very strong support for TQQ, but would take time because we are looking on the monthly chart. So before it reaches to EMA 200, we could see a small uptrend on daily and weekly charts. Face resistance near the mid Bollinger Band. Here in this case, it would be mid Bollinger Band is at 30.66, but before 30.56, the level of 28.70 could act as resistance, knowing that we are expecting further downtrend. So when it moves up, the first resistance would be closer to 28.90. If it goes up, it would close this gap, the gap down of Friday, and the next resistance would be close to $30. And this is especially for those who are taking short-term trades, those who would be interested in taking long-term trades or positional trades. Again, it's better to wait for further drop, as at the current price of 26.79, looking at a drop close to 16 is about a $10 drop, more than 80%. So it would be better to wait if you are planning to open a long position. And since Munir has specifically asked for TQQ, at this point, I would still suggest to wait before buying more. Okay, Munir?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So let's see SOXL as well, since we discussed TQQ. And before we move to SOXL, any questions on indexes?
Oh,
Indexes or TQQ? If we are good, then let me first cover SQQ and then we'll go on to SOXL. So SQQ, reverse of TQQ, it has had a gap up opening, and the first resistance would be close to 57. So I think Munir, you had mentioned about 56. It closed above 56. If you haven't booked your profit with SQQ, and the next resistance which you could look closely is very close at 57.3, and the next resistance would be close to 60. And the upper Bollinger Band is at 61.5. But if you book profit close to 60 also, that could be a good return. And if you are for analyzing on the weekly chart, you'll have to look at shorter interval and then expand because of the price movement. It's almost touching the upper Bollinger Band, but still, at least on the daily chart, there is still an upward room expected on SQQ.
There is a chance to fill it the gap up, like it already had a gap up. So
if TQQ gives a gap down, SQQ will have a gap up. But if gap down happens in tomorrow's session, you could expect the market to take it up from the open price. So what I mean is, let's say if the gap down opening happens at around 25 or under lower Bollinger Band, market could pull up to close the gap during the market hours. If it opens at the closing price, it could drop down and form a red candle. But if it gives a gap down opening, it could form a green candle, open lower and close higher. If that happens for TQQ, for SQQ, it will be a red candle. It would open at higher price and then close lower. So if it gives a gap up for, if it's a gap down for TQQ, it will be a gap up for SQQ, and you could expect it to form a red candle. But you will get a chance to close at higher price.
Okay.
Yeah, 58 could be resistance. So you could aim for 58 in the next session if it gives a gap down, if TQQ gives a gap down. Okay. And this we are seeing on the daily chart for SQQ. Now, for those who would be interested in opening position, at this point in SQQ, it would not be worth to open at the current level. Rather, watch TQQ closely, since it would be in oversold region. And if I add the indicators here, all the indicators are downward because of the last session, and it's almost in the oversold region. So expecting in either Monday session or Tuesday, Wednesday, we could expect a reversal on the daily chart for a short term. On the longer terms, although the indicators on the longer term are in oversold region, but still a further downtrend can be expected since the EMA 200 is further down. Okay, so I will now move on to SOXL. SOXL. Again, SOXL similar to NDX or TQQ, it's going further down. Let me just it's open in some other window. Sorry. Can you all hear music? Or is it just me?
No, we don't hear music.
Anyways, I'll just continue. So SOXL on the monthly chart, it's still on the bearish trend and similar to NDX. If you are planning to take quick trade, just watch for the NDX trend. It's also about to touch the lower Bollinger Band. Just for space, I'll remove CCI and RSI. Lower Bollinger Band is at $18. And it's almost at the weekly support. But since the weekly lower Bollinger Band is downwards and the indicators are downward, still downward trend on weekly chart and monthly chart is evident from the, at least from the indicators. So if you are already holding it, or if you are planning to open, then try to book your profit by within 1 to 2 days. Even if you open your position on Monday or Tuesday. So try to book your profit within this week itself for a short trade of a few hours or couple of days is okay for taking a short-term trade on either with SOXL or with TQQQ. So what's your average, if I may ask, Munir?
SOXL, I am near to current price, like it's not too high.
Okay.
Yeah, it's near to current, but for TQQ, I have a little bit around 30. So I'm just trying to exit.
Yeah, if your average is 30, then it would be good for you to see if it gives a gap down opening. That time you could buy so that your average comes down and you can try to exit at around 28.
Yeah.
No, that was SQQ. For TQQ.
It's around 30 point.
Yeah, if it goes up, it may try to close this gap up, but I would still suggest if you can bring down your average closer to 28.5, then you could book in small profit.
Yeah, 2890 is the next target.
Yeah, 2890 would be when it closes this gap down. And the mid Bollinger Band is at 30.66, so it could close. But if you could bring down your average closer to 28.5, you would definitely be able to close in few dollars. Depending upon your quantity, you would be able to close in profit. Right?
Hi, Kamal.
Hi, Vivek.
Sorry, man. I was doing some household stuff. I lost it.
No worries. So we
I
will.
lost the recording. I think like it will go further down, right?
Yes. So what I was suggesting is watch for gap down opening. If it gives a gap down opening tomorrow, then he could average down. If it doesn't give a gap down opening, then wait for it to drop and then average down on Tuesday. Yeah, because
so Kamal, like tomorrow is the Fed meeting, right? That FOMC.
Yeah.
So that will definitely impact on this, right? Further.
It causes volatility if it doesn't give a gap down opening, then by 2 or 2:30 you can expect it to drop to the lower Bollinger Band when the meeting starts. If it already gives a gap down opening, then you can expect some volatility from 12 to 2. But irrespective of the outcome of the meeting, you can expect market to pull it up within the lower Bollinger Band, within the Bollinger Band.
Okay. What do you think of options?
So I would suggest to wait for buying any call.
No. We can think of puts, right?
If it doesn't give a gap down opening, then you could. And knowing that on the weekly and monthly chart, we are expecting it to go down further. So if you buy a put of July expiry, then you would get chance to book in profit.
Okay, Kamal.
Okay. Okay. Next was we discussed these two. NAVX looking to exit or average down is possible, can hold for few weeks, and that same. So NAVX, RNG, and UPST you have bought for swing trade for few weeks,
Yeah.
few months. Let's quickly see. Don't think we would have enough time to cover all, but let's see if we can quickly. NAVX. What's the company? NOVAX? Munir, is this the one?
Sorry. No, this is different one. It's the symbol is NVAX. NVAX. Yeah, the first one.
And NVAX, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for NOVAX, it's almost at the lower Bollinger Band. It has formed a red doji, and the weekly chart is downwards. The weekly volume was more than average. And on the monthly chart, it has been at this level from past 3 months. I would suggest to wait at least till Tuesday to average down. Because it has formed a red doji, it could go either side, and depending on the market trend, it could still go further down. Although on the daily chart, it's already in the oversold region, and Williams-Hara has reversed because of this doji candle.
In last session, it reversed to the 42.9 and then again came back.
Yes. So because of this doji, Williams-Hara has reversed, which is good for a short-term trade. And if you have taken for few weeks trade, then I would suggest to still wait at least till 3 o'clock tomorrow, and then see if it has reversed, and you can take more to bring your average down.
No, I am on a current price. I don't have a higher price. I am near to current price within the 40 range.
Okay, that's good. So looking on the 1 hour and 4 hour chart, so your short-term trade could give you about $2 to $3 return in that case.
It's like touching 43 and coming back again.
Yes. Yeah, so you could look for target at close to 42.8, which is the super trend on 1 hour chart. Yes, Vivek.
Hey, Kamal, I would like to just mention a point here. So all these vaccine-based companies are more onto this mRNA-based vaccines, like the one we took for COVID. And they are facing some troubles there. That means like, for say, they are trying to expand it for other diseases like cancer and infectious diseases. So please be mindful of playing vaccine companies such as Moderna or even these guys. So because they are not seeing the successful results they are supposed to see, and this is you could face volatility. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Vivek, for your input. Yeah, so if you are on a very quick trade, better you can book your profit, and as Vivek suggested, try to exit from your swing position which you had planned for few weeks or even months.
Yeah, most bio companies, I would say, like, are not Tesla.
Right. That's good. Thanks, Vivek, for sharing that.
No problem.
And we will take the next one in our list, which is RNG, and then we'll go on to UPST. I think UPST we had discussed a few weeks back. RNG, Ring Central.
Yes.
Ring Central, okay, interesting. Ring Central is already under lower Bollinger Band and has been on downtrend. From 449 to 54. It's almost about to reach under $50. And although MACD histogram has slightly reduced on the monthly chart and the Williams R is almost close to -100. But looking at the market trend, unless there is some news from the company or some event, some positive thing planned from the company and news being released, the trend reversal looking at the current market, it's difficult to see it getting reversed. If you're holding, what's your average price?
For RNG,
Yeah.
it's still in profit. Like,
Okay, so if your position is in profit,
and I don't have too much. Like, I have just around 50, not a big lot.
okay, so that's fine. But if you are on it, then you can actually try to book your profit close to the mid Bollinger Band on 4-hour chart, which is 59.55. And mid Bollinger Band on, sorry?
Yeah, that's a great profit. Like, it will give me a $4 or $5.
That's good. The mid Bollinger Band on daily chart is at 62.4, but based on the trend, it may not touch the mid Bollinger Band. So booking your profit before that around mid Bollinger Band on 4-hour chart or the EMA 50, which is close to 61.76. So you could still be able to close your position under 62. You look at high here was 62. So it's less likely that it would touch the mid Bollinger Band, which is at 62.4. As of now, you can keep your target close to 61.75. And once it goes up, you could book your profit and close this RNG position. I don't think there is need to average down because you will be able to exit in profit. So
Yeah, it was just copy paste.
that's okay.
So for UPST, we discussed last week, like it went up to our desired price for 51, even though we were targeting 49. So I just booked it and then I bought it on again. So
for UPST,
Wow.
yeah,
Wasn't it a gravestone that I saw?
we saw it on, yes, on 4-hour chart. Yes. So on lower Bollinger Band on daily chart is at 34.7. So another about $3.50 drop. And then weekly chart, the lower Bollinger Band has not flattened out. So it's still downward. And on monthly chart, it has fallen under the 200 EMA, which means it could go down.
Let's enter, Kamal.
I would still be skeptical.
For a put.
It doesn't look good at the moment.
Oh my
So having
God.
a stop loss would be safer. I would recommend. The support here closing at
Week
32.7, which is another $5. So a stop loss at 34.5, just under the lower Bollinger Band, or 34.4, to make sure that if it touches lower Bollinger Band, and it goes up to mid Bollinger Band, you get a chance to exit from your position. The stop loss is going to save you from losing much, because your average is close to current market price, right? Or
No, it's lower. It was like 35 something.
35. Okay, yeah,
Sorry, 35, 37.
yeah, 37. So if your average is good, then I think it's better to book your profit, because from the candles on, when we are looking on the smaller intervals and also on the daily chart, and on weekly chart, the trend is downward. So it's good that you are currently in positive, and please keep your sell orders in the system, because if you get a spike like this, your profit will get booked. If it's not there in the system, then even though it reaches, it will be missed.
Yeah.
So 38.25, you can keep in the system and see if it reaches. Otherwise, if you are on it, please keep a stop loss.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have covered stocks that we had mentioned here, and let's quickly see. We have 5 more from Munir, so we will be on call for another about 15 minutes. Munir, oh, sorry, I thought this is from above. Munir, you have requested for Twitter and RBLX, looking to enter. Okay. Twitter. Twitter, watch for entry close to the super trend level of 35.29 on the weekly chart. The monthly chart, it shows 31 where it had touched and had got pulled up. But for entry, the lower Bollinger Band here is 36. So watch for entering it towards the end of this week. If it takes support near the super trend level or the lower Bollinger Band on daily chart, if it reverses, then you plan to enter. Because in terms of the upside, it would be about 40. So if you enter close to 36, $4 a return is what you could expect. Since this has narrowed, the upside in terms of dollar is $4, so about 10% return. But would be better to enter once you see that it has touched the lower Bollinger Band and has started reversing up. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And then RBLX. RBLX, it has been trading in this box 34, and here the super trend is under the lower Bollinger Band on the daily chart. The indicators are downward even on the weekly chart. Since the weekly chart lower Bollinger Band, it has this gap. I mean, there's room for it to drop. It becomes riskier to open positions, especially if you are entering for swing trade. Although the histograms have narrowed down and almost become flat, but still, yeah. Even this would go in watch and watch it if it reverses towards the mid to end of this week for entering. With the market trend, I would expect RBLX also to go down along with other major NDX stocks. Okay, so for now, I would suggest to just keep Twitter and RBLX in watch list and see if it gives a reversal towards the end of the week. So NIO, looking for swing trade. Okay, NIO, BB and CCL. So good thing about NIO is that on the monthly chart, it had touched the 200 EMA and has reversed. Last month it got pulled up, which has almost reversed the Williams R, and you would notice the same with CCI or RSI, and the histogram has almost slightly reduced. The red histograms have reduced. If you look on the weekly chart, it is at the mid Bollinger Band where it could face resistance. If you are looking to enter based on the monthly chart and weekly chart, the entry around the super trend level of 16 could be good if you are planning to enter for a swing trade. Entry close to 16 for your target of EMA 200 on weekly chart 22.90. This has acted as resistance previously, and it could act as resistance again. And super trend and upper Bollinger Band are all merging close to 24.6 or 24.9. So your first target would be closer to 22.9 if you are entering at the super trend level of 16. So that's a good return. If you enter at $6 or close to $7 for 22.9, and few quantity, you could still keep it to see if it could reach 24.5. So this is good one to watch. But again, entry would be around mid of week, Wednesday, Thursday. So about $2 from the current price could be good entry for NIO. But it's good for taking stock trade, and also those who are trading options for buying a call. Not in the next session, sometime towards end of Tuesday or on Wednesday. Well, is that okay?
Yeah, thanks. Sounds good.
So let's see BB, Blackberry. It's at the lower Bollinger Band based on market trend 5.25. If it touches there, it would close this gap up. So this gap up is not yet closed. So buying at around 520 would be a good buy price. Let's look at the weekly lower Bollinger Band is also at 5.19. Whereas the lower Bollinger Band on monthly chart is at 4.17, so which is another $1 lower. So if you would plan to take trade for longer duration, you could wait, or if you are just intending to take this for swing trade, then you would be taking trade based on daily chart. If you plan to take it for long term, then you might have better wait. Are you holding any position of BlackBerry, or you would be opening a new position?
No, I'll be opening up new.
Okay, then that's fine for a trade of about few days to a week or two. And for those, if you are looking to enter for even shorter duration, about 50 cents return. But if you are planning for a swing trade, then on 4-hour chart, an entry around 520 for a target close to 590 or $6 is easily possible. Yeah, EMA 50 on daily chart, it has acted as resistance for quite a number of sessions, so that could be the resistance you could also look. So buy around 520 and sell around 620, close to 620 for a swing trade. Okay, Vaibhav?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. So next is CCL. We had discussed about CCL 3 months back. CCL is under lower Bollinger Band. That's why Williams is almost at the oversold region and about to reverse. Even on weekly chart, it has gone under lower Bollinger Band. Even on monthly chart, it has dropped under lower Bollinger Band. So this one is a good stock which could give a entry very soon and we could get entry in potentially in this week itself. Further down. Yes, so this is a looking good where if you are looking for a swing trade, what I would suggest is just watch tomorrow towards the end of the day. Is it giving closing above the current price of 11.12 in the aftermarket? If it gives a closing above 11.15, you can plan to enter towards the end of the day tomorrow. If not, then mid of Tuesday, entry around 11.15 for your first target of 12.8, which is close to 13, or even 13 since mid Bollinger Band is at 13.3. And the next would be $14, which looks to be a resistance on the weekly chart. On 4-hour chart, 12.55, 12.9. Yeah, so your first target would be 12.9 as we saw on the daily chart as well. And that looks to be on the EMA 50 on 4-hour chart as well. So you can enter close to 11.15 after it reverses, and keep your first target 12.9 and second target as 14, which happens to be the super trend level and also the resistance on daily chart. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, so we had like extended session. Any last stop that anyone is tracking that needs to be discussed, or are we all good?
Kamal, just
Any
one
option opportunities?
Any option opportunities?
Yeah.
Options?
Yeah.
Okay.
TQQ, you already said like we can enter by the mid of this week probably for a call opportunity,
Yes.
right?
And
Can we look for some put opportunities as the market is pathetic these days?
yes, there are many put opportunities if you
Yeah.
see.
Tesla.
Yes. EMA 200 on weekly chart is 513. We are currently at 710. Last closing is a red doji, and dropping it to lower Bollinger Band looks very likely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Williams R is currently at minus 57. So if you're looking for put, Tesla looks to be good. Just buy expiry of over 2 weeks or around 2 weeks.
Definitely.
Okay. You see, even MACD is reducing inside. Green MACD is reducing. Williams R is downward. RSI, CCI. They are not in oversold region yet. So there's an opportunity if you are planning to take a put.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think I was also looking at Netflix.
Netflix gave a news that they're gonna come up with the Squid Game 2 teaser. It's already out.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to bring back their market, but I'm skeptical for Netflix.
Yeah, actually, I think I was looking at Netflix on Wednesday. Let me just. So on Wednesday, I was looking, and see Thursday, Friday. In terms of put, it was a good.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
But now that it has come down and it has formed a green doji, so it has already dropped. Although on weekly chart it's still there, but on monthly chart it is under the 200 EMA, so not worth for put at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Kamal, UVXY.
UVXY.
I was just worried about this one. The candle is good for a call now.
Yes, it's good for a call. Super trend it at 16. So if you are opening your call at the market open, your strike could be 16. Although it's just 1.5, EMA 200, it has already acted as resistance. But based on 4-hour chart, it would be worth to wait until end of the day.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah. Buy near 14.
Sure.
Buy a call when it is near 14 with strike of 16.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So with that, I will stop the live stream and you can stop the